무엇보다도 어린이부터 노인까지 누구나 음악을 배우고 즐길 수 있도록 수십 가지의 프로그램이 준비되어 있다.
This isn't just a centre for music performances. We do a lot of music teaching, we have a lot of community music, things you can come and do, choirs you can take part in, and they go right from the very youngest children, 2, 4 years old, right up to we have classes for people who are over 50 years old. So we have a huge spectrum of things, and I think for a lot of people that's the most exciting part of the building. It isn't coming to concerts, it's coming and being able to do things and take part in them.
주민들의 문화 활동이 많아지면서 지역의 문화적 수준도 올라가고 삶의 만족도도 높아진다. 게이츠 헤드시에서 미술관과 음악당의 성공은 뜻밖에도 도시 전체에 아주 큰 파급 효과를 가져왔다.
Once we'd got that in terms of the Sage Gateshead, the Baltic and the Gateshead Millennium Bridge, the area, it lifted the spirit of the area, it lifted the spirit of the people, but also it gave aspirations to the area and aspirations to developers so that people with money saw this area differently. It suddenly became somewhere that was actually quite cool to be. And that's when we started getting the investment. And one of the incredible things about that, just in this location with the flats behind Baltic, was that people were queuing up overnight to buy those. And it's very difficult to imagine, but 10 years before, this area was just so run down. There was no reason to be here. It was just nothing. There was some old derelict buildings. There was no reason to be here. So to the very fact of having people queuing up to buy apartments was absolutely incredible.
문화시설이 성공을 거두자 아파트나 호텔과 같은 건물들이 들어서기 시작했다. 문화시설이 지역의 활력을 불러일으켜 지역 경제가 활성화되는 놀라운 일이 일어난 것이다.
We've now got a Hilton International in Gateshead, just along the river behind the Sage Gateshead. We would have never have got that because Hilton wouldn't have wanted an address in Gateshead. And so it's quite interesting to see that direct effect just in terms of investment.
우리는 게이츠 헤드의 사례에서 문화의 힘이 얼마나 강해질 수 있는가 하는 것을 배울 수 있다.
We soon realised that the impact of these cultural facilities was going to have a lasting benefit for the economy of the area. And in Gateshead, you've now seen a major new college being built, Gateshead College. We've seen private sector investment, we've seen new hotels being built, something like 5,000 new houses being built on the Gateshead side of the river. And what the cultural facilities have done is kick-start a whole process of regeneration. And culture has become and creative industries have become one of the major employers of the area. And they've turned us from a city which was closed on a Sunday night and a Monday, Tuesday night into a city that's now open 365 days a year. And so we now have a tourism economy that's worth £1.2 billion a year. We have a 40% growth in hotels in the city. Our airport has grown to have 5.7 million passengers a year. And we were voted England's favourite city break destination. And 10 years ago, you couldn't have imagined that we would be England's favourite city break.
그런데 문화의 힘이 강해질 수 있었던 비결은 바로 지역 주민을 가장 우선으로 생각하는 철학에 있었다.
This economy of the Sage Gateshead is founded absolutely on the premise that its key relationship is with local people. If you get that right, visitors will come. If you aim at the visitors, the local people won't come. you see? So I think if I was going to give other cities advice about economic regeneration, and if I was only able to say one sentence, it would be this: the absolutely essential foundation for an economic development strategy is that it connects with the lives and the needs and the interests and the futures of local people. If it does that, everything else will follow. We have lots of visitors, we have lots of tourists here, we have all those things, but we only have them because the local relationships were right. If we'd aimed just at the visitors, we'd have had neither.
문화시설이 순수하게 지역 주민을 위해 운영되어야만 성공할 수 있다는 것이다. 그야말로 주민을 위한, 주민에 의한 문화시설이다.
Just with a view to economic regeneration. You don't think about quality, you don't think about distinctiveness, you don't think about value, you don't think about the local community. You just try and build palaces of tourism. It's a disaster. It just doesn't work. What Newcastle Gateshead has done is start from exactly the opposite end. They've sought to invest in theatres and like this, music centres, art galleries, that are fundamentally conceived not in terms of economic regeneration, but in terms of the local community. And that's the really fundamental thing. That's the trick, if you like. That's the thing.
영국의 대부분의 박물관들 역시 주민 중심으로 운영되고 있다. 셰필드시에 있는 이 작은 박물관은 영국의 수많은 지역 박물관 중에 하나이지만 방문객이 1년에 30만 명이나 된다. 이 박물관에서 가장 인기를 끌고 있는 정육점 코너는 이 박물관의 성격을 잘 보여준다.
We have one of the last butcher shops in the north of the city. It was demolished as a shop in 1985. It's been there for 100 years. The whole shop has been recreated by the people, the last owners, in our museum. And it means that you can come in and you can enjoy the shop. You can watch the video of where it was and who the people were who worked there. And if you've got any children,